The Calgary Flames players are fuming right now, as well as with William Nylander's hot start. Should Leafs fans be worried that he hasn't signed an extension yet? We'll break it all down for you coming up on this episode of Hattrick HQ. But before we get into that, we just want to say if you're one of the thousands of people watching that aren't subscribed, go down below, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Hattrick HQ community, because me and Mark will be here all season long, keeping you up to date on what's happening around the league. But with that said, let's get right into the first topic of the video today, and that is the Flames are frustrated. And Mark, obviously the Calgary Flames aren't off to the start everybody wanted them to be this year, and we got a quote from Zadorov after the game the other night saying, "I just want to apologize to our fans." He said we are playing poorly. He didn't say poorly. They were, he had some choice language, but he did say we are playing poorly right now. It's tough to watch. And we also got a quote from Mackenzie Weegar, Flames defenseman, talking about the boos that rained down in the Saddle Dome the other night. He said, "It's a privilege to play in the NHL. I don't want anybody to forget that. I think you have 20 guys in here that know it's a tough league, and you have to earn it. You have to earn to be in this room and be out there. I think we need to remember that. As much as you hate hearing the boos, it's a bit of a wake-up call for us," he added. "We're not a good enough team right now." And we also got another quote from new Flames head coach Ryan Huska. He says, "We weren't broken. We just sucked." And Mark, it just sucks hearing these comments come out from players and coaching staff, because obviously the Flames are frustrated right now. They got a great roster. They got a great team. We expected them to kind of have a bit of a hotter start than what they are right now. And obviously the fans are expressing their concern with boos raining down in the Saddle Dome. And the players are obviously frustrated from these quotes right here. It just sucks to see, but hopefully they can pick it up soon.
Yeah, that's the big thing. You look at the Flames roster, and overall, it looks like a team that should be competing. I mean, you still have guys like Nazem Kadri, Lindholm, Huberdeau. You have Mangiapane, you have Anderson, Hannafin. You can go on, Tanev, Markstrom. These guys are players that when you look at, you think these are contending guys. They're players that could just overexcel your team in certain situations. But the team hasn't gelled, and it's not looking great for Calgary. They're off to kind of an abysmal start. I think they have one or two wins in their first 6 or 7 games, which is not where you want to be this earlier on in the season. And the big thing you need to start worrying about with this team is you have so many guys going as RFAs or UFAs at the end of the year. You have a guy like Hannafin, you have a guy like Zadorov, just a couple of these names that are kind of looking for next contracts. And if Calgary's not in a situation of contending, if the team keeps faltering, you have the fans booing, and things aren't getting better, you could see these guys maybe moved, wanting to move on, requesting trades. So Calgary needs to figure this out. It kind of makes you think of, are they going to eventually look at Dustin Wolf, who looked outstanding last year? He looks great in the AHL, and maybe call this guy up and give him the chance to take the crease, win him a couple games. We're seeing it with Toronto right now with Joseph Woll coming in, emerging as a starting goalie, and just helping this team get over a little hump, a rough start. And you're kind of looking at Calgary of what are they going to do to make this change?
Yeah, it definitely sucks. My heart goes out to Flames fans right now because, I mean, if Montreal had this roster and they were playing this bad, I don't know what I would do. But you got to kind of give the guys the benefit of the doubt here. They got new leadership in the room. They got new coaching. They went from like two different kinds of coaches with Sutter and now Huska, sorry. And it kind of is a big change for them. They kind of start the season with a new leader in the locker room, a new coaching staff on the bench. But I do believe that, I mean, this is the time where you want to fail. You don't want to fail, but this is the time where you can kind of, say, hey, guys, we need to get in gear here. We need to get going. We need to get a few wins under our belt. We need to go on a streak. So I think they kind of got the right mindset here. As we see Uyghur said, hearing the boos kind of gives them that extra kick in the boot. They just want to get going, want to get this team going, want to get the offense going. And they got a great goaltender back there. They got a great team. Like we said, it's only a matter of time before we see this team start to pick up. And I know that Flames fans hate to hear this, but Edmonton is struggling too. But these guys are kind of like the same team. They kind of got the same kind of talent. talent. They're both struggling right now, and both of these teams need to pick it up in order to have a chance at that playoff spot. Or there, like you said, Mark, there's going to be moves. Something's going to have to happen. There's going to be a dramatic shakeup in the team. So you don't want to see that. You want to see this group of guys that they have get going, get their feet underneath them, get out there and start getting a few wins. So we really hope we see that happen, because I know one of our really good buddies is a Calgary Flames fan. He's feeling it right now. But I really do think they'll start to pick it up, in my honest opinion. But we're going to get into our next topic of the video here, and that is Leafs fans are worried. And Mark, obviously, we're talking about the William Nylander situation right now. This guy is on a hot start. In my opinion, the best player on the team right now. Defensively, offensively, this guy has been amazing. We see him going into the corners this year, getting in dirty, getting, in those grimy areas of the game. And he comes out, it seems like he improved on his puck handling as well. The moves that he's been pulling off to release that rocket of a shot he has is phenomenal. And why Leafs fans are worried is because he's not extended, and he's playing so well right now that his value is just going to keep going up and up and up, until they won't have the money to sign him. But I really do think that, we've said this before, that William Nylander will get extended in Toronto. But I mean, Leafs fans are worried right now.
Yeah, when you look at him, there's two ways to look at this. First off, you look at Nylander, and out of the gates, this guy looks outstanding. Just taking last night's game against Dallas, or whenever you do watch this, it's the kind of situation you've seen. As soon as puck dropped, he fought for the puck, he was getting the puck. And when you see in the 4-on-4 where Riley did end up scoring, you have the situation where he battled in the corners, something we don't see a lot of Nylander. He strips someone of the puck, fights out front, dekes around, so on a beautiful backhand right to Riley for a goal. This is the situation we're seeing Nylander just kind of improve his game. He's looking better all around the ice. Defensive end, he's looking better. He's getting in the corners, and offensively, he doesn't look like he missed a beat from last season. So this does look great. You're getting the best version of this guy in a year where we need to contend for the cup. But when you kind of look at the situation of he's not signed, so they're kind of off in contract talks. So just say Nylander's camp was at 10.5 and the Leafs were at 9. This play is slowly closing that gap. I don't think the Leafs have the leverage at this point to say, hey, we think you're only worth this. I think they're slowly getting closer to Nylander's asking price. I think at some point the team and the agent does kind of figure out the middle ground, get it done. But Nylander is making a strong case on why he needs to be signed and how it needs to be done now before he continues to just erupt and possibly score 50 goals this year.
Yeah, it feels like I've said this in every Nylander video, but I do feel like it will be done soon, like you said, Mark. Obviously, this guy is playing phenomenal right now, and like you said, it seems like they're going to kind of match his number a little bit more, or just below. So, I mean, GM Brad has been really high on this guy in interviews. He loves Nylander. He wants to bring him back, and it's just a matter of time before Nylander's agent and True Living come to terms with a deal. And like, I'm just going to bring up this point to you, Mark. I've seen it going around the hockey world that, if you kind of swap Nylander and Tavares' contract, it kind of leaves them in the same position they are right now. I think that is a good deal. Obviously, Tavares is making 11. So if you gave Nylander, say, 10, 10 and a half, and then when Tavares' contract is up, you get him for around 5, maybe 5.5. I mean, there is a still bit of a loss there. So you are gaining back some cap in that transaction. But it does seem like this will be the route that we'll see take place over these next couple of seasons.
Yeah, that's the big thing. So Nylander's contract is going to be up at the end of the season. Tavares will be the following off season. But when you kind of look at this, if you do give Nylander his upgrade in pay, just say it's 10.5 million, he'll be paid around the same as Marner, which I think is almost fair at this point. We've seen the play. Obviously, Marner is one of the best passers in the league. He was a Selke candidate last year. But you look at Nylander, and he's not far off minus the Selke. So when you look at Tavares as well, he is getting up in age. I keep preaching that Tavares is the type of guy that I think does take a hometown discount. I think it's gonna be around what Bergeron got, maybe 6, 7 million on a couple of year deal. Keep him here, keep him as captain. Use this extra space to kind of give Nylander this raise, give a couple other guys a raise, or maybe even sign another defenseman in free agency. Whatever the cause is, we also have the escrow paid off. So when you look at the league in the whole, the salary cap is going up. So with Tavares making less money, Nylander making more, and the salary cap going up, I think the Leafs will be in a fine situation to go after another big name, make those trades, and I don't think they're going to be strapped for any cap.
Yeah, we're with you guys. We really want to keep this team together. We love this team. We see what they're doing right now. They're playing phenomenal. So it's only a matter of time before this gets done. I really do think it will happen soon. And we really hope that he continues to play like he is. Because if he does, Mark, I can see Nylander being up there for the Rocket Richard this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be so happy about that if we have Matthews in a season where he could score 60. And if we can get Nylander score 50, that'd just be an amazing feat for this team. And just helping them in the playoffs. We've seen Nylander's playoff performances. He's looked like the best player on these teams when pushing through the playoffs. So if we can get Matthews to match this, Nylander continues his development, and the team just keeps gelling like they are, I think it's just poised for a deep run.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you. So don't worry, it's all going to work itself out. I think we'll definitely see this roster around the same this time next year, but that's way off in the future. I wouldn't worry about it now. Worry about the hot start they're on. They're playing unreal right now, so it's only a matter of time before the Leafs slowly take that lead in the Atlantic. I think that maybe if Boston goes into a bit of a slump and Toronto keeps on the way they are, they could easily take that first in the Atlantic Division spot. And I really do think, like we said in our live stream the other night, that this may be the Leafs' year. I know that has been said every single year, but it definitely does seem like there's a different energy in the room, a different energy around this team this year that they can make it, that they can get it done. But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, and that is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to our boy Rob. Rob says, KC and Mark, would you trade Liljegren, Robertson, and Abersuazi to Calgary for Zadorov, 50% retained? Rob, I think that's a bit much, in my opinion, to kind of get a guy like Zadorov. I know it's 50% retained, but I think you could get him on a better deal.
My big thing is with this, I know Liljegren's the type of guy that we kind of toss into trades. I do like a package for Sidorov. I know if you guys been here for a while, you hear me talk about Sidorov constantly. But this is the type of guy we were kind of talking about earlier on how the Flames might have to start selling a few guys, make a roster and change. I wouldn't really want to move Liljegren for a guy like Sidorov. Not saying that it would be an unfair swap or anything, but I'm super high on Liljegren. We've seen his development. He looks good in the top four. And if you can get into the situation of maybe keeping this core together on the defense, get a guy like Zadorov, maybe move out a forward, a prospect, whatever it takes to hit the 50% retained. I think this team looks incredible with a guy like Riley, Brody, Zadorov, Liljegren, McCabe, and Klingberg. So I think you want to do everything you can to keep a guy like Liljegren. Robertson in the situation you might want to move out where he can't really crack this lineup. Maybe if you move out a guy like Yarncroke, you bring a guy like Robertson up. But overall, I do want to package around Zadorov. You guys heard me talk about it before, so let's just hope they get it done and see what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Liljegren take. I'm a really big fan of this guy. I'm always a fan of the ECHL guys that make their way up to the NHL and solidify themselves in the NHL roster. So I don't want to see him go anywhere. I don't want to see anybody go anywhere because this team looks unreal, like I said in this video. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers, so we really appreciate it. And leave a comment down below about your thoughts on the Flames' slow start to the season and their players' takes on their game. And let us know what you think about the Nylander situation. We really want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. Maybe you'll be featured on the next comment of the day. And if you enjoyed at least, make sure to check this video. Pop it up on your screen right now. But I've been KC, alongside my co-host Mark Pye. Keep your stick on the ice.